This is a small update on the digital controller and the software I'm using to control the digital controller. Um, the main purpose of me continuing this was to get rid of using Python because you have to load a lot of files with Python, and I just wanted to have one driver to perform the function that I wanted to perform. So now I'm doing this in C++, and I've gotten rid of using that driver for Python. So Python was used to control the C bus. Now I'm using the D bus, which is you don't need Python to control the D bus. So I'm just creating a small driver where all I have to do is call a function or call a program. I'm going to call a program and send in which bit I want to change. And that's all this program does. This is just a demonstration of it. One thing I had to do, I had to download the drivers and then I had to download the header files. And that works. And then I created my own program to run with it. It's very small. It's only about 100 lines of code. Some of it's temporary code that I'm going to erase right here. I'm going to show you, and I'll give you the actual code to use to do this later. I just want to go through the demonstration right now. So first, one thing I changed was this right here. This is what normally comes up when you use Visual Studios, and I added this. So I commented the other one out, and this is what I'm using because I want to pass an argument in, and that argument would be, which port I want to turn on. Um, right now, this is how I'm setting it. This is my function I created, and this is the function. It's not much to it. I'm just writing, what I'm just writing to the FT32H board and telling it, which port I want to turn on. So this is the Adafruit board. All it is that it connects the computer interface to this board, and it gives me 8 outputs, which is bus D0 through D7. It's the D bus, and I'm using 4 bits to control this relay board. So this board comes with 40 pins. This is an inland board. It takes a 5-volt input, and what it does, it energizes these relays based on which input receives a signal. So all I really did was connect 6 pins to this. One is um, I have the power going here. I have ground going here, which is this power and ground going to the inland board. The ground is connected to the FT32H board, and then the GPIOs are connected from this board to that one. I'm not using any of the power for the FT32H. It's powered by the USB. So I can show you that later, but this is the code that I'm using. I'll just go through it really slow. And that's it, 105 lines of code. It'll be shorter in a second. This is temporary. I'm going to show you that it works, just demonstrate it works. Okay, that was very quick, and I can show you that again. Okay, now I'm going to show you, I'm going to get rid of this part of it, and I've got to pass the argument because you got to test passing the argument in. If you don't, it may not work when you're done. I mean, this code's going to work, and I know that because I've already done this. But to pass an argument in, you go to your Solution Explorer, and if you don't have that, you can go over here and say View and Solution Explorer. And then you go over here and you right click on your project name, which is Digital Controller RevD, and you select Properties. And I go to the configuration properties. I want to go to debugging, and right here I would enter ARG1 equals, I'm going to select 2. And now when I run this, notice I got rid of all the other calls, and now it's taking this call from right here. It's taking in whatever. It's going to be 2. It's going to be the second LED or second relay. So the second relay is on. Now I'm going to do that again just to show you that it's working. And I'm going to pick the next relay. It'll be 16. Now the reason I'm doing this is because when you call this function, this program I'm writing, I want you to be able to call, which port you want to enter one at a time. And I can continue this. I'll just do it one more time just to show you. To go now, I'll select 32 and I'll go to the last one. And I'll show you why I'm using 1, 2, 16, and 32 in a second. Gotta run this. Okay. Now that's done. I'll go to the other screen. What I'll do is I'll go to where I'm controlling this with batch files, and I'll also explain why I'm using uh, 0, 1, 2, 16, and 32. Why I'm using the numbers 0, 16, 32, and 48 is because these are the pins I'm using. So this is my D bus right here, and this would be data bit 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And underneath here, this is when I'm sending a 1 on that line. This is on data bit 0. This is when I'm saying a 1, a high of 5 volts on data bit 1. This would be data bit 4, and this would be data bit 5. Currently, I'm not using output 6, 7, 2, or 3. I'm sending a low out on all those. And this is a decimal representation for those. So this would be 0, 1, 2, 3. That's 16, 17, 18, 19, 32 to 35, and that's 48 to 51. So I wanted to show you that. And the reason is because this is how I'm controlling the board with this batch files. The reason I'm doing that is because I want to be able to control it with that functional test software. I can show you what I mean by this. I'll go ahead and grab one of these commands out of here, and I'll just open the file. This is the command I'm actually using to control this board. I'll show you this just by opening DOS. And I already know I have to go to this folder because this is where my executed file is. It's right here in this area I've created. This is, instead of Python, now this is all I have to load. There's these files right here, and I can call this routine without having all the Python stuff. In fact, this is the file I'm going to call, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the argument, which is right here when I call that file. So that's what I'll do here. But first I have to go to that folder, which is copy that, and I'll just change directory. And now I can call the file, which is, but since this file has spaces in it, what I have to do is I have to put quotes around it like that, and then I can call my argument. And it would be arg1 equals 0. And you notice the quotes are in here because I'm calling the file with this batch file. But I'm going to call it like this first just to show you that it's one, or that it's working. Arg1 equals, we're going to say with 1 first. I'll hold the board up so you can see that it's actually working as I do this. So this is my first command. It does the first bit. Now I'm going to do it again, but I'm going to do the second one. I'm going to do it again, and this time it's going to be 16. I'm going to do it again. Now it's going to be 32. Oh, 32. Now, if I were to use 33, what would happen is it would turn 2 relays on. If I use 34, it'll turn another one on. It'll change it. Now, if I use 35, it'll do another one like that. And that's how this is working. I'll just go ahead one more. That's 36. And I can just keep going. Now, what you're seeing is I'm actually going through these numbers right here. And now I'm just going to go ahead and run these batch files, and I'm going to show you how it's controlling it with the batch files. So that's a demonstration of how that's working. And I'll show you my batch files so you know what they are as they're running. So the first one, I'll just close it and I'll reopen it, is this one right here. Just so you know. And all I'm doing is I'm just calling it. But this is how the software is designed to run. You call one port at a time. Or you send one command in at a time. And that's how it's designed to work with the functional test. That way you can select which port you run your test. then you close the port, you turn it back to 0, and then you do your next test, whatever you want to do. So that's how it's designed to work. I'll go ahead and run this and show you it's working, the batch file. Now keep in mind, I have a 1-second delay in here between each call. It's a 1-second delay. So that's why it's taking long. And now it's going to cycle each port by itself. And it's done. And see, that's just this long code right here. That's all that does right there. There's another way to do this, but this is how it's designed to run. For simple testing, you can do it with this mode, which is, what I did is it's basically the same thing, except now I'm using a for loop to run these commands. So it basically the same thing, but it's for loop. Okay, so that's that one. And then the last one is, this is how it's really designed. You just want to, I really didn't want all the relays on at the same time. But so I've kind of done it like this. But see, again, it's a for loop, and it's doing one at a time, one command at a time. So anyway, that's a demonstration of how this is working, and it works with the functional test. I'll show you that in just 1 second.